will stop nursing. True or false? If you touch the kids, the mother will stop nursing. Stay tuned because in this video we're talking about rabbit myths. The myths you hear when you raise rabbits. Welcome back to another Holistic Aqua Farm video. My name is Anissa and this is your boy
John Del.
And today we're talking about some of the misconceptions that people tell you when you raise rabbits. As with all things, everybody always have an opinion and always want to tell you things when they want to give you some advice. Some may be good, some may be not so good, and some may be downright rubbish. Pure rubbish. And that's what we're talking about, the rubbish advice people tell you. So let's get on into the myths. The first myth that I want to talk about, one of them that has irked me, feeding rabbit carrots. So first myth, rabbits only eat carrots. We talked about feeding rabbits before and nutrition for rabbits. If you've watched that video, you would know.
No, carrots not good for them.
Carrots in excess, not good.
The only rabbit that I know carrots good for is Bugs Bunny.
That's right. Tell them. Tell them. Right? And I think that's pretty much how the myth started because of Bugs Bunny. I'm not bashing Bugs Bunny, right? But your rabbit's main diet should not consist of carrots. Carrots is high in sugar, which is not good for the digestive system of your rabbit. A carrot should be a treat. It should be a snack, something that should be given rarely, once in a while occasion. It should not make up more than...
That's like a piece of cassava pone. You can't have that all the time.
Because it's sweet.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. It tastes good.
It's cassava though.
No, but it's not cassava alone in it.
Yeah, I understand. Because because of the sugar.
Yeah.
But alright, so that piece of cassava pone tara because of the sugar. Yes, make it pone sweet.
Let's make it just.
Anyway, so carrots should treats, anything sweet treats should not make up more than 5% of your rabbit's diet. And in all honesty, that 5% doesn't even have to exist. You don't have to feed them carrots. Alright, so that myth is busted. So myth number 2. One of the myths that I heard when I was starting rabbits from someone who was trying to be helpful and offer some advice to me was that you can't and should not touch the kids, because if you do, the doe will stop nursing the kids and the kids will die. And I can tell you with the utmost certainty that
is just a myth.
It's just a myth. I don't know how it started, but it is a myth. And the thing is, there are multiple occasions where a kit would end up outside of the nest box. For instance, she may not make the kits in the nest box anyway, and if she makes the kits on the wire, you would then have to manually go and put your hand in the cage and put the kits in the nest box. There are instances where she made all the kits are in the nest box and she goes into nurse, right? And a kit may stay latched onto her nipple, and when she hops out of the nest box, the kit ends up outside the nest box. You have to put the kit back into the nest box. If you don't put the kit back into the nest box, that is when the kit will die, because the doe will not put it back into the nest box and it will stay outside and starve. And that is why you should touch your kits and put the kits back in the nest box. And rabbits by now are going to be very used to your scent, so there's not going to be an issue if they smell your scent on their kits. They know that's the hand that feeds. Okay, so you should not have a problem. So myth number 3, wire cages causes sore hocks. So sore hocks.
What is sore hocks?
I'll go in. I know you was coming. So basically, sore hocks are bruises that form at the bottom of your rabbit's paws. Right? So here's the thing. People would say that being on wire causes sore hocks. That's a myth. The fact is, heavy rabbits cause sore hocks. When a rabbit is heavy, having the extra weight of the rabbit now has to be supported on their paws, and that is what will cause them to have sore hocks.
But here's what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
From the time a rabbit get heavy, it's supposed to be in a vacuum seal pack.
I like that.
I
like
don't
that.
understand. It's supposed to be in a vacuum seal pack. What are you doing getting sore hocks in the cage?
And in all honesty, if you have a rabbit that has sore hocks, it should only ever be used for meat. it should not be, you should not be looking to get keep kits from that lineage, because sow hocks is actually hereditary, right? So if you have a buck with sow hocks and they make their offspring should only be used for meat, right? Because their offspring will be prone to having sow hocks. Okay, the fact is, wire cages are more sanitary than solid floors. You can use wood. Wood tends to absorb the bacteria, and I know a lot of people like using wood to give them a solid resting place. But wood is a ground for breeding bacteria. Wire cages, when they urinate, when they it goes straight through. So they're not gonna be stuck in there. Very likely that they will be stuck. Feces are gonna stick up and they'll be living in that, right? Depending on the flooring you have to, you also have a lot less cleaning to do. So one of the things you can do if you want to alleviate sow hocks, so if you're concerned about giving your rabbit some rest time off of the wire, you can place a resting mat. It could be there are commercial resting mats that you can put in the cage that have slits in them. You can place a piece of wood, you can place a tile. I tend to use tile because it's a lot easier to clean and I'm not concerned about bacteria growing on it. Alright, and given the temperature we live in too, the tiles are they're a little cool, you know, so they get a little comfort from that. So I have to laugh at point number 4, right? So myth number 4, giant breed rabbits produce more meat. And that is false. I remember having several discussions with one individual who was convinced that because I'm going into meat rabbits, I should have big breed rabbits to get more meat. Fact is, big breed rabbits produce more bone.
I know what to ask that. I know what to
Right?
ask.
So when you have a big breed rabbit, anything with the name giant in it, right? Flemish giant, checkered giant, giant chinchilla, all those giant breeds, they're big bone rabbits. So when you slaughter that rabbit, when you process those rabbits, you have more bone than you have meat. And I don't know about you, I rather have meat because that's the part that I eat. Yeah, right. Right? So that is a fact. Big breed rabbits do not mean more meat. It means you get a heavier weight of a rabbit, but it doesn't translate to more meat. Aside from that too, I find that big breed rabbits tend to put on the weight a little slower than a medium-sized breed. In terms of, for example, a big breed rabbit, people will look at you, want the rabbit to reach 10 pounds, right? The time it takes a rabbit to reach 10 pounds, it's much longer than when I keep a meat rabbit in stock. A rabbit should not pass 5 pounds and still be alive if I'm raising it for meat. That is the standard. As well too, you also have to understand your market. Generally, when people want rabbits, if they want an entire rabbit, they want the whole rabbit. They want to see all the pieces of a rabbit if they're buying it whole. And sometimes 10 pounds is going to be too much if they just want one rabbit to buy. Right? You understand? Yeah. So don't let the giant sized rabbits fool you. It does not mean you're going to get more meat from it. It means you'll get more weight.
You might get more bone to feed the dogs, right?
Basically.
That's one thing that you're sure about.
Yeah, for sure. So myth number 5, rabbits can only live indoors. I've actually seen some YouTube videos where people was talking about rabbits and they were saying that rabbits should only live indoors. By now you all know that I raise my rabbit outdoors under the garage. So, and I've been doing it for years. There's nothing wrong with rabbits living outdoors. Yes, they are domesticated rabbits, which will vary from wild rabbits, but it is still in their nature to be outside. Okay? And then, given as well to the climate that we live in, to put those fur coats inside the house without air condition, they have a less chance of survival and be more input cost for me because then I have to air condition rooms for the rabbits. It's a lot cooler outside, right? Breeze is able to flow freely and there's enough space between the roofs so we don't have heat stress.
Apart from that, I don't think it would be practical because of the fur getting everywhere.
Oh, yeah boy. The man has a point. I didn't even consider that. Yeah, look at that. That's true. You'll be eating fur. Right? So, fact is, rabbits can indeed live outdoors just fine. So, myth number 6, you can't breed parent to offspring. That is definitely a myth. In fact, you can. It is called line breeding, and it is a form of selective breeding. When you're breeding a rabbit and you're trying to you're trying to gain certain traits from the rabbit, you would in fact breed the parent to the offspring. So a father can be mated with a daughter and a mother can be mated with a buck. Sure, it is maybe frowned upon for humans to do that, but for rabbits, for meat rabbits especially, it is totally fine. It could also be for the buck to the granddaughter and the grandmother to the grandson. That is completely fine. You want to get particular traits from the parent, and the offspring will also display some of those traits. So you breed it back to try and make those characteristics a lot stronger. And when you breed it for a purpose, and that is exactly what you're going to do when you want to do selective breeding. Okay, so you don't have to worry about producing little crazy looking rabbits or rabbits with odd genetic characteristics if you breed the parent to the offspring. Myth number 7, rabbit meat requires special preparation. I can tell you for a fact that you can treat rabbit meat the same way you would treat chicken, right? Rabbit is a lean cut of meat, so you don't want to cook it in a process that is too dry. So you want to take that into consideration. So the way you would cook a rabbit breast, in terms of keeping it moist, if you want to grill it, if you want to fry it and that sort of thing, that is what you're going to do with rabbit meat. It doesn't require you to sort it a certain way or cook it a certain way. There's an endless list of possibilities for you to eat rabbit meat. And that was the 7 common myths.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna cut you across, right?
Yeah.
I was looking forward to hearing you speaking about one that I in particular hearing about long time, and I didn't hear you mention it.
What's that?
Is it true that when you cut off rabbit foot, you just get good luck?
Well, I know it's not good luck for the rabbit. All right, because if it lost a foot, it means it's dead. I can't really comment on that one. All I know for sure is not good luck for the rabbit. That's what I know. That's what I know. All right, so thanks for watching another one of our videos. There'll be more videos just like this. So if you like the content that you see, don't forget to subscribe and join the conversation down below by leaving a comment in the comment section. And stay tuned for the next one.